Welcome back, guys. I'm excited to see how you'll all handle Cragmaw Castle today.
You changed up the intro again, Ben?
And some new pictures, too.
Yeah, you guys are pretty far into the campaign. I think it'll probably be the last change we have, to be honest.
Well, this new intro is pretty cool. I'm excited to get into the castle today, too.
Even if Donald insists on running through the front door.
Hey, it's what my character would do.
Well, before we start, let's get some comments from Joe.
I made sure to grab extra ones this time around. Also, spoiler warning if you guys didn't see session 12. First comment is from Fisherman, who's been loving all the content recently. If he's a fisherman, how does he watch the videos? There's no cell towers in the water, right?
Right, Joe.
So, how does that work?
What the hell are you even going on about, Joe? Just read the next comment.
Oh, all right. Next is One Che Lee. They said that we're their favorite channel. That's very sweet of them.
That's very nice. Thanks for the love.
Thank you to Sigboder as well. Our videos have really helped to brighten up their days. Hang in there, bud. Next up are some comments from session 12. First up is Yabba Dabbin' Dude. It was definitely a tough fight, but we plan to get our revenge. Everything we do now is for Gralmiir.
You bet.
Next is Senate, who is a multiple-time donator, so thank you. Shout out to him for also paying his respects to Gralmiir. Last one up is Mr. Brazga. Him and some others seem to be pretty interested in how Donnie got into debt with Xanathar.
Well, if Donnie continues into the next campaign, I'm sure Ben has plans to expand on all that.
I have plans to continue all your backstories if any of you are in the next campaign.
Sounds awesome. Really excited for that.
Well, thank you, Joe, for the shoutouts again. And so now, let's begin tonight's session. Last we were with our party, the group had begun to investigate Thundertree after meeting the druid, Redoth. While exploring, the group got into a fight with zombies, before also finding a group of cloaked figures within the ruins. Upon speaking to them, they claimed to want to treat with the dragon, and the party decided to work with them to either bribe the dragon to leave or kill it if need be. They planned to meet the following morning, but before that, in the dark of night, Sildar was paid a visit by none other than the Oathbreaker Knight. After speaking with him, Sildar realized his powers granted by the gods had been taken away, and took on the oath bestowed upon him by the Oathbreaker Knight. That following morning, while the others met with the cloaked figures to discuss the plan for the day, Yorkus visited the tower where the dragon had apparently claimed. The group hoped that he would find valuable items to help in the chance that they had to fight the dragon, but upon finding only 2 scrolls, Yorkus had awoken Venomfang, and a fight had begun in the courtyard of the Thundertree ruins. In the midst of the fight, Donnie and Sildar bravely fought Venomfang head-on, while the others had to fight who they now realized were cultists, as well as zombies drawn in by the chaos. After being caught off guard by the cultists, Gralmiir had been gravely injured, and a cloud of poisonous breath from the dragon left him unconscious on the town square. With Redoth arriving to help turn the tides, Venomfang took his chance to exact revenge on those who would evict him from his home. He pierced the chest of Gralmiir with his large claws and left his lifeless body on the ground by Donnie as he took flight to fight another day. In the aftermath, Sildar and Yorkus searched through Gralmir's belongings, hoping to find something to tell them of his home. While they found nothing of where his home was, they did find multiple sketches of Wave Echo Cave, as well as the tavern they had all met at when first speaking with Gundren in Neverwinter. The group set out to Cragmaw Castle, hoping to rescue Gundren for Gralmiir and learn where his home is. Redoth promised to bring Gralmiir to a cleric he knows, keeping his body safe until they could return. The 4 of them traveled through the Neverwinter woods for 2 days until finding the castle in a small clearing in the woods late at night. Rather than going in at that very moment, the group camped out for the night, dropping their things off a bit further into the woods to stay out of sight. During this time, they spoke to each other of their past, along as what they have planned for the future. After some time, they all laid down to get some rest before the impending battle to come inside the castle walls. We now pick up with the party, waking in the morning with an overwhelming sense of energy in the air. For some, it is that of worry and nervousness, and for others, it's a chance to take out their pent-up feelings from the events at Thundertree. What would you all like to do?
Get up, boys. We're taking the fight to these goblins and orcs. I don't care how many there are. We're going to barge our way through all of them and find Gundren.
If you're really planning on running in directly at them, I'll follow. I still think it's a bit reckless.
I forgot to mention, I found a pretty strong scroll I can use if need be. I didn't have a good chance to when we were fighting Venomfang, but with how crowded the inside of this castle is bound to be, it should work wonders.
Now that I have better up-close capabilities with my spells, I should have an easier time fighting up close as well. Maybe it's not a bad idea for us to charge them. They might not expect it.
Well, if that's what we're going to do, let's at least stay along the tree line until we get to directly in front of the castle. Then we can get a look around the place before we make our move.
Fine with me. I'm gonna gather my things, Ben.
As the morning sun begins to cast its first golden rays through the dense canopy of the forest, you find yourselves huddled together in the shadow of the towering trees that fringe the clearing where Cragmaw Castle stands. The castle looms before you, its crumbling walls and jagged battlements silhouetted against the sky like the grim teeth of a long-forgotten beast. You and your companions edge cautiously along the tree line, your movements a whisper among the rustling leaves. Donnie leads the way, his heavy armor surprisingly quiet as he treads carefully, each footfall deliberate. He scans the perimeter of the castle with a warrior's vigilance, ready to signal any immediate danger. Jorkus follows closely, his small form maneuvering with incredible ease through the underbrush, the nervous look across his face shifting numerous times to deep thought, strategic considerations, and back to nervousness. Sildar follows next. His hand rests on the hilt of his sword, though he makes no overt movement. His eyes steadily sweep over the castle walls, picking out the locations of guards and potential entry points. Barbin follows at the back of the group, his every movement fluid and almost imperceptible. He slinks through the undergrowth, his sharp eyes catching every detail, the position of guards, the layout of the terrain, and the locations of potential traps. As you all follow the tree line, give me a perception check. No stealth check needed from this distance.
12 for me.
Same here.
14.
22.
As you all make your way along the tree line, Barbin spots something of interest about a certain tower, pointing it out to the remainder of you. This tower has almost completely collapsed, with rubble piled up outside. From what you estimate, it is climbable for your group, though you do see movement inside.
What do you guys think? We could go in this way and cause even more chaos inside.
As much as I wanted to run in through the front door, this looks perfect. We can get the drop on some of them and handle the ones who come running in to save their little friends. Not to discriminate against small people, Yorkus.
That's why Kamala dogged you in the debate, bitch.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay. I say we go in through here.
Sounds like we're in agreement. We're gonna stealth on over, Ben.
Sounds good. Let me bring out our map. Go ahead and give me some stealth checks.
I got a 19.
Oh, man. I only got a 7.
16, nice.
And I got a 4.
Great, here we go.
With plans changed, your group approaches the pile of rubble laid outside the nearby tower along Cragmaw Castle. Although Donnie and Barbin make their way to and up the rubble with ease, Sildar's armor constantly clangs against the stone, and Yorkus slips multiple times, sending pieces of stone tumbling down. You climb up fully and see 4 plain straw pallets and bedrolls are lined up on the floor of this barracks. Brackets on the walls hold a number of weapons, spears, swords, morning stars, and more. And waiting for your group following the large amount of noise down below is 4 hobgoblins. Roll for initiative, guys.
I got 17.
16 for me.
Me too.
Tainted 20 over here.
All right, first up will be Yorkus. Go ahead and start us off.
I'm going to stay here and twin cast chaos bolts at the 2 hobgoblins in the back. That's a natural 1 and a 19, so I'm going to use my lucky trait for the first time finally to re-roll that. Much better, that's a 15.
The 15 will miss, but the 19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Geez, a 15 misses?
All right, that's a total of 16 poison damage to the back right hobgoblin.
With crackles of unstable energy, Jorkus sends out 2 bolts of wild magic. One crashes into the wall behind the hobgoblins, leaving shards of ice embedded in the stone. But one hits its mark, taking out the strongest hobgoblin as vile poison overtakes him.
I got a 4 and 17 for wild magic, by the way.
Nice work, Jorkus. I'm going to first cast Shield of Faith on myself as a bonus action, Ben. Now my AC will be 20. Then I'll move up to attack the hobgoblin in front of Barbin. Oh shit, I've been critting like crazy lately. That's a total of 17 slashing damage.
Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah, Sildar.
Wow, just as quickly as one hobgoblin had been taken out, another falls immediately after as Sildar rushes in. An intense aura emanates around him as he casts his Shield of Faith, and then with one slice, he drives his sword into the hobgoblin's heart.
Go ahead, you two, let's finish this.
All right, I'm gonna shoot at the one near Sildar, so I'll have my sneak attack if I hit. That's a 19 total to hit. And holy shit, almost max damage, 20 damage altogether.
These hobgoblins are dropping like flies. Another one down as an arrow brains him.
Finish the last one off, Donnie.
With pleasure. I'm gonna run to the last hobgoblin and use Fighting Spirit to gain 5 temporary HP and advantage on my attack. That's a 24 to hit and a total of 13 damage.
A look of horror crosses the hobgoblin's face as his allies are brought down around him. Before he even gets a chance to retaliate, Donnie cuts his head clean off, bringing our battle to a close.
Now that's what we're capable of, boys. Let's keep going. I'll lead.
Old casks of salted meat and sacks of rotting grain fill this storage area. Among the supplies, you see a bloody suit of chainmail, a heavy crossbow, and an unsheathed longsword with the emblem of Neverwinter worked into its hilt. You instantly recognize the gear, Sildar.
Is this my stuff that the goblins robbed me of when we were ambushed?
It is, though it seems to be in worse shape than your current attire.
Shows how far we've come. And this just confirms that they've got Gundren here most likely. Let's keep going.
As you move forward, you spy a crumbling mound of rubble, partially obscuring the southern hall. To the east, a broad corridor ends in 2 more doors leading south and east. The corridor is cluttered with dusty rubble and fallen plaster from a partial collapse of the ceiling overhead.
Which door should we go through?
As Yorkus poses the question, a goblin walks out of the door behind him. He screams after realizing who he walked into. I also need Sildar to make a dexterity saving throw.
A dex save for what?
I definitely just walked into a trap. That's an 11.
That's 17 damage halved to 8 since you passed. As the goblin screams, Sildar unknowingly walks into a tripwire, triggering a cave-in of wooden beams and heavy stones. He is barely able to dodge out of the way, though still taking some damage. Make a concentration check, then we're rolling initiative.
That's a 14, so my shield of faith is still up.
All right, you're good. Go ahead and roll initiative.
I got a 9.
17 for me.
10.
Only a 6.
All right, first up will be 3 goblins and then Barbin. 2 goblins run at Donnie, but both of their crude swords fail to break past his armor. The goblin that swings at Yorkus is too slow and is easily dodged. They all miss, so you're up, Barbin.
I'll go for the goblin that hasn't attacked yet. That's a 19 to hit and 9 damage total.
The screams of the goblin that walked out into your group are cut short as Barbin plunges his short sword deep into him.
I'm gonna stay here to back up Yorkus.
All right, Donnie, you're up.
I'm just gonna go for the goblin right in front of me. That's a 25 to hit, but really bad damage. Only 7.
You cleave down, nearly splitting this goblin in 2, though he manages to slip out of the way at the last second. You deal a nasty blow, but he's barely standing still.
Damn! I don't want to waste my action surge here, so I'll pass.
All right, I'll go for the goblin Donnie didn't attack yet. 19 to hit and 9 damage.
This goblin isn't as lucky as the last. He is quickly gutted by Sildar, as the one next to him prepares to run away.
Okay, for my turn, I'm going to first try to move away from this goblin.
That's going to be a 19 to hit, and 5 damage from the attack of opportunity.
Now, I'm going to cast shield to add 5 to my AC for this round.
Ah, nice.
From here, I'm going to cast a firebolt at the goblin. Oh, rats. I'm guessing 11 misses.
It does. Your firebolt slams into the wall behind him, singeing the hairs off his head, though causing no damage.
Okay, I'll run to a better spot and then pass.
For their turn, both the goblins are going to disengage as a bonus action and dash away. They both retreat into the southeast room.
I don't want them to get away. I'm running in after them, Ben.
As you push past the rubble of the collapsed pillars and stone, you enter the room and see what must once have been the castle's banquet hall, with a soaring ceiling 25 feet high. Throughout the room, you see a large group of goblins, each one with arrows cocked back, and a fat goblin at the other end of the room laughing as he exclaims,
"Welcome in. Glad you could join us."
With that, a volley of 7 arrows are set loose on you.
Oh, shit.
Barry's about to get turned into a porcupine.
These will all be at advantage as well, since you're surprised by them all. That's a 17, a 19, 2 12s, a 21, a 16, and a dirty 20. I believe 5 of those hit you.
My AC is 14. Let's see how bad this is.
Barbin enters the room and is left staggering and heavily wounded. The volley of arrows plunge deep into him for a total of 26 piercing damage.
Holy hell.
Yeah, I'm not in the best of shape right now, guys.
You going to be okay for a second, Barbin?
Yeah, I got an idea. I've been wanting to try this out. I'm going to cast Fog Cloud on the goblins in the bottom of the room. Then I'm going to run into the fog since I have blind fighting. Any attacks on me will have disadvantage, but mine will have advantage. I'll be using my bonus action so I can get all the way down there.
Nice play, Barbin. Go ahead now, Donnie.
Time to clear some of these punks out. I'm sprinting into the nearest one and swinging with my greatsword. 24 to hit and 10 damage.
That takes one down.
Don't use that action surge, Donnie. I have a plan.
You sure?
Yeah, save it for a guy that's stronger. These guys are all pretty weak. I'll also run into the room bin and use Dreadful Aspect.
Awesome. Another Oathbreaker move. What's that one do?
Each creature of my choosing that I can see within 30 feet has to make a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Okay, so that will be the 4 goblins in the open, the fat goblin, and we'll include the one standing on the table as well. Sildar rushes into the room after Donnie. A vengeful purple and green aura fills the room as he does. A sense of fear passes over a number of the goblins in the room as Sildar draws his sword and raises it amongst them all, daring them to try their luck against all of you. Those affected seem to not even think about confronting you, and some look ready to run away out of fear.
All right, guys. Those goblins can't move closer to me now. And as long as I can see them, they have disadvantage on attacks.
Nice work, Sildar. I'm running in now as well, and I'm going to cast a Chaos Bolt at 2nd level at that fat goblin. That's a 21 total to hit and 19 fire damage. That should take care of him.
Indeed it does. With the goblins all beginning to freak out upon Sildar entering the room, they all now look terrified after the dirty rags of the fat goblin, who seemed to be calling the shots, begin to catch on fire.
They had it coming. Let's finish this.
Roll for wild magic, Dorcas.
All good. That's an 18 and a 7.
The goblins who were here to begin with are up now. The 3 that are frightened are going to shoot at Donnie before running away. Each one will have disadvantage. One arrow sneaks past your armor, dealing a measly 6 damage, but the other shots from the shaking hands of the goblins are way off target. Those goblins are now going to run away from the fight, seeing as how badly this fight is going. Next up, 2 of the goblins in the smoke are going to try to swing at Barbin, unsure of where he went, after this large fog began to fill the room. The other goblin on the table is going to take a shot with his bow at Sildar, before also running away. You feel a sharp pain across your leg, Barbin, as rusted metal slices across it in the heavy fog. You hear another wild swing incoming, but it's off target lucky enough. The arrow aimed for Sildar's shoulder is blocked by magical energy, the power of your magical shield still holding strong. That will be 3 damage to you, Barbin. Now these goblins are also going to attempt to run away.
All right, I got a 12 for my concentration check, so I'm good there. And I got a tainted 20 for the opportunity attack.
Go ahead and roll sneak attack damage as well, since he's blinded in the fog cloud.
12 damage total.
With all the chaos ongoing, these goblins are trying their best to leave this cramped room. While most are able to get away, you manage to stab one right in the back as he attempts to leave the fog. The remaining goblins in the room run to the door to leave, but trip over each other and are unable to push past the goblins piled up outside. Go ahead, Barbin.
I'm gonna hide in the fog with my bonus action before jumping out to shoot at the goblin by the door. That's a 23 on stealth.
Shoot with advantage and sneak attack.
16 to hit and 15 damage total.
With the goblins clamoring to leave the room, an arrow flies out from the fog and pins one to the door. The other turns around, knowing what's next.
You bet he knows what's next. That's 19 to hit and 14 damage.
Blood sprays across the mossy stone as another goblin falls.
Those goblins are probably going to run to get back up. I say we play this a bit smarter and wait a second.
Do you all want to leave combat?
I wouldn't mind. I'm not in the best of shape.
Cool with me. I have an idea, actually.
Let's hurry this up. I'm not finished with them.
I'm going to give Barbin 15 HP from my lay on hands pool.
Thanks, Sildar. I've also got a health potion I'm going to use as well. That's another 5 HP, so I'm back up to 29.
I'm going to go invisible, I think, guys. That way I can get a look ahead and see what we're up against.
We're sitting around too much. Make this quick, Dorcas.
I think that's a solid idea.
Okay, you guys wait here. I'll go ahead. I'll step out into the hall, Ben, quietly. Do I see anything?
This portion of Cragmaw Castle isn't lit very well, with the only light that reaches this area coming from behind curtains north of you. You can tell that the frame of the castle past that curtain is broken out, though it seems to be a different section of crumbling wall than the one you all entered through. Give me a perception check and a stealth check with advantage.
18 perception and 14 stealth.
You hear faint whispers behind the nearby walls, though a curtain obscures your view for the moment.
I'll move up, crawling under this curtain so that I don't alert anyone.
As you suspected, you see two goblins to your immediate right, waiting in the shadows to attack. The door next to them opens as another goblin begins to walk out as well.
This may sound dumb, but I'm going to walk through the door he opened before it closes behind him.
Oh, God.
Give me another stealth check.
Natural 19. Let's fucking go.
You manage to slink past the goblin as he exits the room. In this room, 4 straw pallets are lined up along the east wall. The wall to the south has collapsed, but a barred wooden door in that direction is still clear. A curtain hangs in an archway to the north. Within this room, you see the rest of the goblins that managed to escape the banquet hall, but alongside them are 3 more hobgoblins. They don't seem to notice your presence yet. Before you can take another step, one of the hobgoblins begins to walk towards the northern curtain. As he does, he points out to 2 goblins, ordering them to follow him. What are you doing?
Why would they have a door barred? I bet there's some goodies in there.
This is taking too long, guys. I want to kill these bastards.
We should wait, Donnie. Let Jorkus scout ahead. He may find out how many reinforcements they got.
Yeah, you saw what happened when I rushed in.
I'm going to go to that barred door. Maybe I can find another really good scroll or something.
Enough waiting, guys. I'm going in.
Wait, Donnie, just give him like another minute to look around.
This is ridiculous. For all we know, he was found and is in trouble already.
Just wait, Donnie. Have some patience.
Fuck that. I'm going in.
Give me another stealth check as you attempt to move the bar, holding this door sealed.
That's a 15.
I'm slowly moving into the hallway, Ben.
Stealth check if you want.
Only a 7. That's fine.
I guess we're following, Ben.
You're able to move the bar without those in the room with you noticing. As you silently swing open the door, you see a pitch-black room. The arrow slits here are obviously shuttered, and heavy drapes have been hung up to conceal any light from entering. Before you get a chance to enter, however, a hulking beast begins to step out of the shadows. You have to move out of the way, lest you be trampled. You see a monstrosity you have only heard of from your days in Greenest, something of a bedtime warning for kids who would go out late. An owlbear emerges from this dark tower, an expression of fury across its face, as it begins to huff and growl while moving forward.
Oh, fuck.
You 3 in the hallway hear a crash in a nearby room. Yorkus, you watch as the owlbear turns the corner from this tower and begins to attack the goblin and hobgoblins. Chaos begins to break out, and I need you all to roll initiative.
Let's fucking go, baby. Got a 10 again.
16.
A 4.
Same here.
The owlbear's up first. It begins to tear into the goblin, which stands no chance and is immediately torn up by the sharp claws of this beast. The hobgoblin is barely able to dodge the giant beak of the owlbear. You're up, Barbin, and then the goblins.
I'm gonna hide as my bonus action and then hold my attack to shoot at the first enemy I can see. That's a 15 on stealth.
After hearing the commotion from the eastern room, the goblins begin to flood in, each one aiming their attacks at the owlbear, hoping to bring it down as quick as possible. While both the goblins attacking with their scimitars are unable to get a good swing while avoiding being trampled, one arrow does find its mark, digging slightly into its back.
The furthest I can go is to the door unless I dash. I think I'll go to there and hold my action as well. That's all for me.
I have no idea what the best play is for me here.
Just get out of there at this point. It's so crowded.
Yeah, I'm not good when it comes to up-close fights. I'm just gonna scurry around all this chaos and leave through the door I came in, Ben.
Since you're still invisible while doing this, I'll say you don't proc any opportunity attacks, though some of the enemies in here definitely see the door swing open.
I'll run past Donnie and say, you do not want to go in there, and then dash further away before passing.
I'll look around for him, trying to see where he ran off before saying, "What the hell happened, Yorkus?"
One word, owlbear.
The fuck?
Now one of the hobgoblins is going to attack the owlbear with its longsword as the other shoots with its bow. The arrow fails to dig in deep enough to cause any damage, but the hobgoblin up close manages to get a great hit on it, dealing 18 damage as he drives his sword deep into the giant beast. You all hear screams from the room over, as it seems Jorkus wasn't kidding.
Well, if we're certain an owlbear is in there, I'd really rather not join the fray.
I think our best bet is to just hold our actions out here.
I agree.
I'll move up next to Donnie and hold my action to attack if an enemy walks out of that room.
Sounds good. The owlbear is going to start tearing into these guys again. The owlbear slams its colossal beak down onto one of the goblins in the room. He's immediately impaled, though the hobgoblin next to him manages to just barely dodge out of the way of his claws, moments away from also meeting a similar fate.
This thing is a goddamn tank. Holy hell.
I'm gonna do the same as the others, Ben. Move up and hold my action to shoot if an enemy walks out. That's all for me.
Both goblins are going to shoot at the owlbear for their turn. The one goblin next to the owlbear is going to disengage before shooting. Once again, another arrow sticks into the owlbear, turning it into a pincushion at this point, yet it shakes off the blow and roars angrily, ready to attack. Then the goblins are going to continue moving away, leaving the hobgoblins to handle this issue.
Enough waiting around. I crave a fight. I'm running in and attacking the hobgoblin towards the back. 23 to hit and 14 damage.
With the hobgoblins in the room preoccupied, Donnie rushes in. He now gets to see what's been going on in here, and without a second thought, slices across one of the hobgoblin's stomach. In just one hit, another one has fallen.
I'm going to move to the wall so I can just get an angle through the door after Donnie ran through. I'm going to cast Magic Missile, sending all 3 darts at the hobgoblin. That's a total of 8 force damage.
Small, red, sharp beads streak across the hall, each one digging deep into the hobgoblin as he slumps lifelessly to the floor. Go ahead and roll Wild Magic, Yorkus.
It's that time again, Ben.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, geez. I need a wisdom save from you 3 in this hallway. What's your spell DC, Jorkus?
It's a 13.
Here we go. I got a 5.
I got a 14, nice.
Great, a 12.
After sending out your magic missiles, Yorkus, you begin to see sparks in the air. Although you feel just fine, Barbin and Sildar begin to hold their heads and look completely out of it at the moment.
What did you just do, Joe?
My bad.
As you continue to watch them, Yorkus, Sildar suddenly takes a swing at Barbin. Roll to hit, Sildar.
Haha, what the hell is going on?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sorry, Barbin, that's a 16 to hit. And 6 damage.
Give me another wisdom save, Sildar.
An 8. Come on, man.
Whatever mysterious spell Yorkus seems to have casted on accident still has hold on you for the moment, and now the owlbear is up. With the hobgoblins and other enemies cleared out, the owlbear turns its sights to you, Donnie. It goes in with 2 attacks.
Bring it, bitch!
The owlbear attempts to peck you with its beak, though you can easily read the incoming attack. What does catch you off guard is its follow-up claw, which scrapes deep into you for 11 slashing damage.
This is what I'm talking about. Let's do this shit.
On Barbin's turn, he stands there, doing nothing, and that's it.
I hate you so much, Joe.
Don't hate the player, bro. You get to make another wisdom save, don't worry.
16, finally.
With that, you snap out of whatever stupor Yorkus's magic sent you into. Though your turn is up, and we're on to the goblins. As you're squaring off against the owlbear, Donnie, an arrow is sent into your back, dealing 4 damage. You hear quick footsteps afterwards, as you see the goblin retreat into a nearby room. You're up.
I'm gonna use my fighting spirit to gain advantage on my attacks this turn and gain some HP, then I'm swinging. Natural 20. That's what's up, baby.
Nice, Donnie.
That's a total of 21 damage.
Damn. After a heavy cleave down from your greatsword, the owlbear looks ready to run at this point.
I don't think I want to finish this thing off if it's gonna run, as long as we can scare it off.
If you guys aren't going to attack the owlbear, we can end combat.
Sounds good to me, but am I still going to roll for this damn spell?
Haha, yeah. Let's see what happens. As the owlbear begins to dash out of the room, Sildar now begins to stand there catatonic, just like Barbin did. Give me another save, bud.
Finally, an 18.
You shake out of this magical trance, just to see the furry behind of an owlbear running through the hallways of Cragmaw Castle.
What in the hell just happened?
I should be the one asking that. Where the hell were you 3?
You can thank Jorkus for sending Sildar and I on a magic-induced trip.
I'll take responsibility for this one. I may have had a minor magic mishap.
A magic mishap, huh? Ridiculous. Come on, let's go. I saw where they ran off to.
We've still got some healing potions, right, Barbin?
Yeah, I especially need them after you tried to gut me. Have one too, Donnie. I'm back up to 32.
I'm at 37. Let's go.
Wait, guys, I wanted to check this room over here for goodies. I never got a chance after that owlbear walked out. I'll cast light on my staff since it was so dark, Ben. Anything for us to find?
I won't have you roll since you're all in here actively looking. You see a chest on the 2nd floor of this tower. With enough help, you all manage to get it down. It's unlocked, and you find an assortment of items. First is 130 gold pieces. There's also 2 scrolls, one of Silence and one of Revivify.
That's some good finds. Nice work, Jorkus.
Looking deeper into the chest, Jorkus, under old rags and papers, you find a circlet. It's aged, but you can see this small gold headpiece carries a clear gem in the middle of it. You can tell this is magical, but you aren't sure what it does yet.
Now this looks fancy. A nice spit shine, and it'll be looking brand new. I'll put it in my pack for now. You keep the scrolls, Sildar.
Good job, Jorkus. Now let's go save Gundren.
Following Donnie's lead, you all make it to the door of where you assume Gundren is being held. You hear no noise from this side, as though the whole keep is aware of your presence at this point and waiting for you to make a move. What do you want to do?
I remember Ben saying how I could see another area of broken tower from that hallway. Barbin, come with me and maybe we can get a drop on someone.
Not a bad idea. You two stay here and I'll tell Yorkus to message you if we find anything.
You guys have like a minute before I barge in here.
Entering this ruined tower, you indeed see a way outside, though you can also see a large pile of rubble to the northeast.
Bingo. Looks like we got another door.
Moving closer, this seems to be what remains of a bathroom. The room seems to be empty, but another door leads into what you assume is the same room as the door your companions are at.
Send them a message, Yorkus. Tell them to enter on the count of 5.
Yorkus to Donnie. Do you read me, Donnie?
Hurry this shit up, Jorkus.
We found a door and we're going to enter it on the count of 5. You guys do the same. Over.
5.
4.
3.
2.
1.
From opposite corners of the room, your party bashes through the doors. Within, you see the bedchambers of the castle. 3 goblins stand with arrows knocked, while 2 hobgoblins stand guarding another clad in heavy armor and wielding a large sword. In the back of the room, you see an injured dwarf, barely conscious and breathing heavily.
About time you fucks showed up.
And that is where we'll end this session.
Oh my God, it's Peter Dinkelberg.
That's not how you say it, Joe.
Thanks for having me to join you guys, Ben.
Glad you could be here, Peter. Hopefully these 4 can successfully get you out of Cragmaw. It'll be a fun start to next session.
Don't you worry. We're going all out in fights now. We lost one friend, and we aren't losing anymore.
I'll be holding you guys to that, but if I do end up dying, at least make sure it's to a crossbow while I'm on the shitter.
Best scene in Game of Thrones easily.
I'd say anything prior to season 7 and 8 were the best, if we're being honest. They really butchered that, but let's keep that off the record.
We still gonna watch the new Alien movie tonight?
Yeah, I got it downloaded already.
Awesome. I heard it was pretty good.
Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Good thing I packed some diapers. That movie looked scary. One word, owlbear.
The fuck?